Hey everybody, and of course, welcome back to another episode of the Sports Plug with my boy Ishmael.
Yup. What up?
Of course, if you have joined this show before, please make sure you subscribe to the Sports Plug YouTube page. If you are on Facebook, please make sure you like and share this broadcast. And if you are on Twitter, please make sure you check everything out on my Twitter page at X_Williams81. Of course, let's go ahead and get straight into Week 12 recap. If you did check out our show on Sunday, we are now doing Sunday shows when we do our upcoming week preview now. So next week on Sunday morning, we will have Week 13 preview for the upcoming games on that Sunday slate going into Sunday and Monday. If we ever get there, due to, of course, the Ravens and Steelers at the moment holding up everything for Week 12. Speaking of the Ravens and the Steelers, let's go ahead and get right into the Ravens and the Steelers because they have not played yet. But instead of some WAP, we are going to get some WAF on Wednesday on some Wednesday afternoon football with the Ravens versus the Steelers. Again, we know this game has not been played yet, but due to, of course, coronavirus concerns, this game was supposed to be today on Tuesday. It was supposed to be Tuesday night football, but it got pushed back to Wednesday afternoon due to apparently in New York they have the tree lighting, so it was not able to be played on Wednesday night. They have to move it up to Wednesday afternoon.
More important.
Apparently lighting the Christmas tree in New York is more important. It is what it is. I honestly don't give a damn. But with this game being played at 2:40 on a Wednesday, I don't know about you, Ish, but it kind of reminds us back of high school when, JV, the sophomore team, would have to play on a Wednesday or a Thursday, right after school. So, you had to go ahead and you can't even get stretched or warmed up yet. You was out class, get in the pads, you got a football game an hour later.
Oh, yeah. You straight out there on the field. You don't got no time.
At all. So, I mean, for this game, let's hope it gets played. At the moment, J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram are supposed to be eligible for this game since it did get moved to Wednesday.
Can we talk about that real quick?
What's up? Let's talk about it.
This may be the conspiracy theorist in me, but I kind of feel like as soon as the J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram thing came out last week, all of a sudden it was like, oh no, we got to push the game back from Thanksgiving. Like all we had heard up until that point were they were the two confirmed cases. And then all of a sudden the game got pushed back to Sunday. And then it was like, then it got pushed back again. And then it got pushed back again. And now they're coming back and it's like, oh, okay, we can have a game on Wednesday. I kind of felt like the NFL was, and I'm being a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I know that. I recognize that. People, if you're watching, I know I'm being crazy. But at the same time, I still think that they kind of wanted a really good game because they know what is riding on the game for the Ravens. They got to win this game against the Steelers. And so in order to make it as fair as possible or as so nobody can say
as competitive as possible.
They were like, well, let's push the game out to make sure they're at full strength. I kind of feel like I don't put it past the NFL saying like, we want them to be at full strength. So if they lose the game, there's nobody can say like, oh, because of COVID, we ended up not making playoffs this year.
Can I rebuttal to that?
Go ahead.
Can I just ask a question?
What?
Could you say the same thing for the Broncos we saw on Sunday with that situation?
Broncos aren't in the playoff picture, and also the Broncos.
I understand that.
Not very many people care about the Broncos right now.
This is very true.
They made an example out of the Broncos. I do agree that they made an example out of the Broncos. They were like, if you guys don't want to follow the policies, this is what we're going to do. But to me, I just feel like they kind of pushed this one back so that they could get the Ravens at full strength so there would be no complaints.
And, of course, on the bottom, as you can see, those are the teams that we pick for each week. So for Wednesday, hopefully if this game gets actually on this way, we are picking the Steelers for tomorrow. So again, hopefully that game will be played. I've seen a meme already saying that hopefully that game will be played by 2032 or something like that. That was kind of
funny. At some point. Jeez.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. All right, back into the actual real games that happened. We'll start off with The Dolphins and the Jets. Dolphins went up to New York, took care of business, or should I say, apologize, New Jersey, because apparently you are the New York Jets, but you play New Jersey. Gotta love that. Dolphins, of course, took care of business, winning 20-3, and with this win, and of course the Bills winning, I've talked about this for the last couple of weeks
Here you go
with
again.
the AFC East. Do the Dolphins have a chance to still take that title? Ish.
I mean, yeah, mathematically they
I'm
still
just
have a
they
chance.
do. I'm just
I don't know what you want me to say.
my
They
bad.
still
I'll say
have a
this. My
chance.
bad. Better question. My bad. I'm sorry. That's not a good question. Better question is, with the injury that Tua has sustained, and Fitzpatrick coming in and having to do what he do, as in put in a little Fitz magic.
Mm-hmm.
If Tua is healthy, do you go back to Tua?
Ooh, so that's the drama that they got in Miami right now because Tua didn't look too hot last week, and I know they're gonna say he had the swollen thumb or whatever, but he didn't look too hot. So Fitzpatrick played okay. It was against the Jets, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But Fitzpatrick played well enough that you do have to ask the question: should they stick with Fitzpatrick, who is a veteran, who knows what he's doing, is experienced, or should they go with Tua? Remember, a couple weeks ago, I told you my question about Tua and the Dolphins was, how would he perform when the pressure is on? Now that people expect them to challenge the Bills to make the playoffs and maybe win the division. So for that reason, if Fitzpatrick is playing, I might just say they got a chance to beat the Bills and win that division. If Tua is playing, oh no, I'm still sticking with my Bills, man. I'm gonna stick with the Bills.
No, I completely understand, and I definitely, I'll be honest with you, I definitely understand where you're coming from, not riding with the Dolphins because of the Tua effect. Because we have to remember Tua and Justin Herbert and these guys that are still rookies, they still have to get their feet wet, and everybody that's a rookie does not come in and kill it like a Cam Newton. Remember how Cam Newton first came in as a rookie, breaking Peyton Manning's records and this, that, and the third. As of right now, he's not looking like he did, of course, when he first came into the league. There's some guys that come into the league don't look as hot, and then 4 or 5 years later, you're like, man, this is a franchise quarterback. So we have to wait and give these guys more time to be able to develop, be able to play it out, a
I
2
agree.
or 3, 4 year experience, and then we can say, all right, we can evaluate. There's some guys, the draft class, the Mahomes draft class, the Deshaun Watson, the Mitch Trubisky. There's enough time, of course, in that draft class for everybody to see, damn, the Bears messed up, right? So with this situation, this quarterback situation, Herbert looks great now, but who knows in 3 years? I mean, he could have an injury and then all of a sudden not be the guy that he is at this moment. We see that with Carson Wentz at the moment, right? So with the Dolphins, I think Tua is really good. My concern, and I don't know if anybody's have honestly has talked about this, but the left-handed quarterback. That is my concern because, and we all know, it is very hard to play quarterback being left-handed because the way that the ball comes out of your hand. And for people that's out there watching and don't understand, realize what I'm saying, when you catch a football from a guy that's throwing from the right side, it's a lot different than a guy throwing the ball from the left-handed side.
Oh yeah. Being a lefty myself, I will say that as a receiver, receivers have a harder time when a lefty's throwing them the ball because the spin is different. If you've ever played football and you've ever caught a ball from a lefty, the spin is totally different when it comes out of a lefty's hand. And so switching between Fitzpatrick and Tua, you are creating a little bit of an issue. Although these are professionals, we would expect them to adjust, but it is a difference that you do have to adjust to.
No, you do. It just honestly, it's true. Like, we're not trying to make excuses, but that's the thing that I worry about Miami moving forward. I think Tua's a great guy on and off the field. It's just the health factor. Can he stay healthy? And also the receivers that you have, and also bring in for the future. Can they adjust to playing with Tua? That's the real thing. All right, go ahead and move on to the Cardinals versus the Patriots. This was, it's one of those shocking type of games, unfortunately, that we had last on Sunday. Same as another game we'll get into as well that kind of shocked everybody. Hey, on the outside looking in, you kind of think, hey, maybe this Patriots team is done. Maybe this Cardinals team can come in and pull off a victory that they really need to stay with the other teams that's in the NFC West. And this is your guy, Cliff Kingsbury ish. We have some games where he pull off a great win, and then all of a sudden you have a lackluster performance like this. So we'll start off with you, Ish. How you feel about this Cardinals team at the moment?
It's disappointing. It's disappointing. Week in and week out, we come in and we say, if you're a playoff team, there are certain games that you got to win the game that you're expected to win. You got to beat the teams you're expected to beat. This is definitely one of those games where the Cardinals went into Foxborough. I don't care if you're on the road or not. You're expected to go in and win this game if you're a real playoff team. And to go in and lose to Cam Newton and the Patriots, I mean, is disappointing. A lot of people will say the Patriots are a better team than what their record says, but I would argue that for the Cardinals being the team that they have, people have claimed them to be, or they have looked like at certain points in this season, you would have expected them to go and handle business. They did not. This could hurt them in the long run. But they will luck out in the fact that they have to play the Rams 2 out of the 2 weeks, 2 out of the remaining weeks of the season. So they come out on top on both those games. You don't look at this game and you don't even worry about it. But if they lose, maybe even one of those games, you could see them on the outside looking in, and this will be the game that they might look at and say, "Man, we should have won that game."
And at the moment, if you check out the NFC West standings, the Seahawks are number 1 at the moment. Rams are 2. Cardinals are 3 with that loss. And the 49ers, hey, they are still in the playoff mix. And that's something that I talked about on our pre-show promo is at the moment, the NFC West and the NFC East, all 4 teams can still make it to the playoffs. Think about that. That is crazy. The best division in the worst division can still get playoff teams in there. That is crazy to think about. And even the 49ers are still technically not out of it. So just I will say this. The 49ers are a great example of they are the West Coast version of the Eagles without having to cry and bitch and moan about everything. All of our players are hurt. Our quarterback. Why nobody feel sorry for us? Oh my goodness, it's the Eagles. Why nobody feel bad for us? You want to know why nobody feel bad for y'all Eagles fans? You want to know why? Probably because y'all assholes. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest. That might be the reason why. Maybe because every team in the NFC East. Maybe because nobody likes y'all. Because y'all too damn arrogant. You talk too much shit. And now that y'all getting a little dose of reality, nobody really cares about how you feel. So what I'm getting at with the 49ers is the 49ers are a great example of being able to still keep the shit moving no matter what happens and being able to galvanize this team and come together and play. Kyle Shanahan should get a lot of kudos for this season. He really should. And we'll talk more about that going into the actual Cardinals game. We'll get to the Panthers and Vikings. This is another game that I say it all the time. I said it in the pre-show. Every time I pick the Panthers to win, they lose. Every time I pick them to lose. Last week. Every time I pick them to lose, they win. So this doesn't surprise me at all. Kirk Cousins edges it out and win by a point. Kirk Cousins has a pretty good stat line. I'll say that. 3 touchdowns on the day.
That last drive was big.
Hey, that's what Captain Kirk is able to do against inferior opponents. But when it's playoff time and do it against a team that we need you to do it against, that is what we don't believe in Kirk Cousins, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily believe in him. I still don't believe in him, but I did expect him to win this game, and he did. He proved me right. He came out. He won the game. I do want to admit, though, I was wrong about Teddy Bridgewater. I said he was going to come out after the injury, play real safe. He didn't. He came out slinging that thing. He made a couple of plays. He even drove the team down with under a minute left in the game to give them a chance at a winning field goal, and they just missed the field goal. So, I mean, I got to be real with you. it's another one of those losses for the Panthers. Like I've said all season, they are better than their record states
They
because
are.
they have played really well, and they just for some reason don't win these close games. At the last minute, they don't make the play or they miss a field goal, and again comes back to bite them again. They had a chance to win this one, just couldn't do it.
No, I definitely agree. And at the moment, they are 4-8. Who knows? Maybe that record with Christian McCaffrey. Who knows? It could have been flip flopped. It could be 8-4 at the moment. You know, like you said, there are certain games where they lose maybe by a possession. You know, by a score that they easily could have. Let's just say in the first or second quarter could have cleaned up and tied that game or win that game. And same thing with the Chargers. You know, that's another thing we talk about all the time. They have an opportunity to win games, and they just are not able to do it because they're still learning how to win. You know, we definitely don't think Matt Rule will get fired after this year because of this season. This is a learning experience for everybody that's involved. And like we talked about last week in the show, it'll be very interesting to see the direction that the Carolina Panthers go with, either with PJ Walker, Teddy Bridgewater. You know, it'll be very interesting to see moving along in the future, right? Also, I just want to bring up the NFC North standings as well. At the moment, the Vikings are number 2, unfortunately, because of just how bad the NFC North is as well. So we'll see how that goes with the NFC North, how they finish it out. The Browns versus Jaguars. The Browns were able to squeak by the Jaguars, who honestly shouldn't have been this close to the game. The Browns should have taken care of business, but hey, the pull off, your win is a win, no matter if you win by a point or 100. And the Browns at the moment are still the ugliest 8-3 team at the moment.
Hey, we said in the preview show, we said that we thought it was going to be a close game. The Jaguars were going to find a way to keep it close, and they did. But the Browns were able to pull it out. Like I said, this is an example for Arizona of a team playing a team that they should beat and going in and winning that game. The Browns are supposed to beat the Jaguars. They beat them. They don't have to look back on the game and think, man, we really should have beat that team. I still think that they're frauds, imposters, whatever you want to call them. I don't trust the Browns. The only reason why I do respect them is because of the two-headed monster they have in that backfield, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Those two guys are really carrying this offense, I think. The defense, that Myles Garrett is wreaking havoc. And really, if you can keep doing that consistently, you might be able to shock a team in the playoffs, get a win in the first round, and then we'll see. It'll definitely depend on who they play. But they don't have a good history against playing against the better teams in the conference. So I don't hold out hope. I think at this point they're making the playoffs. Now, what they do when they get there, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't hold out hope that they win the game because it's the Browns.
Do you know what next week starts for them?
What does it start?
It's time to get serious because they play Tennessee Titans in Nashville next week.
They lose.
So we're going to have to wait. They didn't get it from Sunday, right? So
they lose.
If the Browns want to show the rest of the NFL that they are here to be taken seriously, go into Nashville and go upset the Titans. That's what I feel like. Hey, same thing with the Titans. That's what they had to do this Sunday. If you want the rest of the NFL to take y'all seriously, you have to put a beat down on the Colts. That's what they did. So
okay, I see them losing three of the last 5 games because they got.
Would you like to let everybody know who they have?
Oh yeah. They got the Titans, the Oilers, who I see them losing to. They got the Ravens next. I see them losing to the Ravens. They got the Giants. They should win that game. They got the Jets. They should win that game. And then they finished the season against the right now undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, which they'll lose that game as well. So I see them going 2-3.
Well, the question with that one, week 17, what happens if the Steelers are still undefeated? Do they rest everybody? Do you let the Browns have that game?
Their backups will beat the Browns as well.
Oh, you feel that way? Oh, that's a little disrespectful.
I'm being all kinds of disrespectful right now.
Okay.
The backups will beat the Browns as well.
All right. Being real disrespectful right there. We gonna wait and see on that one. All right. One game that felt like a lot of backups were playing, the Giants versus the Bengals. The Giants end up, of course, winning this game 19-17, but with this win, they also had a big loss in Daniel Dimes Jones, which I don't know why anybody gave him that name, but Danny Dimes. Yeah. Anyways, with Daniel Jones, looks like he's going to be out for at least 2 to 3 weeks with that hamstring issue. And from what I saw tape wise, it doesn't look like he can move at all. And this is not a mobile quarterback. This is not Lamar. This is not Russell Wilson or anything like
Danny
that.
Dimes be running sometimes.
Anyways, like I said, this is not a mobile quarterback that needs his legs to be able to do what he needs to do as a quarterback. He mostly is a pocket passer, and for him to not even be able to stand in the pocket and make a throw, which I saw after he sustained his hamstring injury, I was like, yeah, that's not a good hamstring injury at all. And to see the way that he limped over to the sideline, I know that at the moment the Giants, unfortunately, are leading the NFC East at the moment.
I was wondering if you were going to get to that.
Oh, yes, I'm about to get to that, unfortunately. Yes, at the moment, the Giants are leading the NFC East with 4 wins. I honestly do not know if they will be able to hang on with Colt McCoy moving forward. We love us some Colt McCoy, but it's the Giants as a team that I'm more worried about. Again, you have no Saquon Barkley. You don't have any other pieces there. But the best thing about it is that you are in this horrible division where you really still have a chance to go to the playoffs.
They still got a chance. That is the point right there. That's the key. Yeah. They are in the NFC East where they could. I mean, anything can happen, right? They've got now where they have the problem is their remaining schedule is terrible for them. They've got Seattle next. Mm-hmm. Then they've got the Cardinals. Then they've got the Browns. Then they got the Ravens. And they finish up with the Cowboys, who have been playing a little bit better, you got to say. So,
and who knows, that game could be the divisional game to win the division too.
Because, I mean, depending on how long Daniel Jones is out, you could be looking at a rough – I mean, you got 4 playoff teams right there that are competing – actually 5 because I'm going to include the Cowboys since technically they're still in the hunt. But the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Ravens, all in the thick of the playoff race. So these are some rough games coming up. And to not have your starting quarterback – Colt McCoy is experienced, though. I will give him some of that. The problem is they don't have any weapons. You don't got Saquon Barkley. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be rough for them. I don't see them doing it. I said it in the preview show on Sunday. I think this division is the Washington football team's division to lose.
I honestly feel like it's everybody's division to lose. At this point, this division is honestly so bad. I mean, just watching the Eagles last night, it's like, don't get me wrong, I felt like the Eagles defense came to play last night. I thought that was the best thing about the Eagles last night was watching their defense play.
I agree.
But when you watch the offense, it's just like, this is the guy you gave $20+ million to?
We'll get into that later.
We will, but oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Hey, yo. We'll get on to the next topic. Jesus. The Chargers and the Bills. Bills, of course, take care of business with the Chargers traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast and putting up a fight, as always, like the Chargers do. This time they did lose this game by more than one possession. But this also goes to my worry on Anthony Lynn. I've said this since day one, and I'm going to keep on saying it. I'm very worried for his job. Very worried.
After this game, I have come over to your side of being worried. Only not because no.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Not because I don't still believe everything I've said in the previous episodes, but only because there's one theme that I think if I'm the organization and ownership, I may look at and say maybe we move on from Anthony Lynn. And that's the mismanagement of games. So in this game, they actually had an opportunity towards the end, like they've had in previous
and multiple times.
Yeah. And there has been some questionable coaching decisions, not being able to get plays off, not like calling timeouts at the wrong time or not calling timeouts at certain times. Like there have been some questionable decisions that Anthony Lynn has made that if you're the owner and you're the organization, you look at it and you might say, even with the injuries we had a quarterback, a rookie step in, play lights out, and we should have won some of these games. And the fact that you didn't win because it could have been a coaching issue may be the final nail in the coffin that they say, yeah, we got to move on from Anthony Lynn. I still believe if you give him a shot next year, you look like a whole better team. You win a lot of these games that you were supposed to win this year that you missed out on one possession. But I agree with you to the point now that the record combined with the coaching mistakes might just actually spell the end for Anthony Lynn in LA.
Nah, and again, prior to this game, it wasn't so much the coaching mistakes. It was just mainly little mistakes here and there, either by a player or, of course, by a coach. But now, just this game alone, it was just like so many head-scratching moments where you're just like, Anthony, we're rooting for you. I feel like Tyra Banks right now. We're rooting for you.
Yeah.
We're all rooting for you. And you over here failing us. That's how we feeling right now. Now, I'll give you guys the remaining schedule. They have the Patriots next week, or this week 13, since we're still technically in week 12. Falcons, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chiefs to end off the season. So could be a 2-3, could be 1-4 the last 5, and that's not and that's not a good so you could be to finish off the season, it could go 4-12, might go 5-11. Is that something that gives Anthony Lynn an opportunity to come back next year? We've seen other coaches have same records, maybe worse records, still come back and coach that next year. So
I think, again, like we said in the pre-show, it all depends on how they lose those games. If you do end up losing some of those games, which is highly likely they will lose some of those games, it depends on how you lose the games. Because if you lose the game, again, by coaching mistakes, or you lose the game because it looks like the team's not fighting for you, they're not really ready to play, he could be gone before the end of the season. Not even all season.
And I'll say this. They could the Chargers could go two directions. They can go ahead and say, no disrespect, Anthony Lynn, we appreciate what you've done, but we're going to go ahead and go to Cliff Kingsbury way in Arizona and pair our quarterback up with a quarterback guru that can help him and mold him into being the best product that we need him to be for this team.
Yep.
Or they can give him a 4-game, 6-game leash next year. And you need to show something in those 4 to 6 games. And if you don't, we're just going ahead and make a change in the middle of the season.
So I got a slight worry for the Texans, our hometown team here, because one of the names that we have constantly been linking to the Texans that everybody's saying like, "Yo, we need this guy. This guy needs to come." Eric Bieniemy. Mm-hmm. If I'm the Chargers,
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about
the Chargers. I might just say, "Yo, Bieniemy, don't go to Houston. I know you got Deshaun Watson over there, but that's a losing organization."
And I'm saying if I'm Bieniemy, I would definitely like to go to LA instead of Houston.
We got a quarterback that's been proving a little something. Ran a spread type offense at Oregon.
You got Keenan Allen. You got Mike Williams. You just need somebody to put it all together.
And you're not in the same cap situation. You're not in the same contract situations that you got down in Houston. I'm starting to lean a little bit more for Eric Bieniemy's sake. I'm leaning a little more to, if the Chargers can make that happen, Anthony Lynn, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go, and Eric Bieniemy is going to have to step in there.
I like that, Ish. I like that. We need to go ahead and drop a bomb. We're going to drop one of them DJ Clue bombs. I ain't got the sound effects, but if I did, that's going to be something special to look forward to. If Anthony Lynn does get fired, which it could most likely could happen, and Eric Bieniemy steps in there, I will double down again and say that the Chargers next year, top 5 in the AFC. If that happens.
I wouldn't doubt it.
All right, then. As long as we're on the same page on that one, baby. All right, being on the same page as my Titans finally getting the boogeyman off of their back, which are the Indianapolis Colts, and also dominating fashion, winning 45-26. This was a team win all the way around from the offense, defense, and special teams side of things for the Titans, being able to have this much needed win against the Colts, because, it's not about beating the Patriots last year, beating the Ravens last year, and then losing to the Ravens. I'm sorry, losing to the Chiefs. I apologize. We know we can play with all those teams. We can play with the Steelers if we need to, right? Our thing, and I've said it since day one, is we for some reason cannot get over the Colts. They can put in a broke Andrew Luck and they still are going to beat us. So for us as a team to finally get over this damn mental hump, this was the best Christmas birthday gift I've gotten in such a damn long time, because moving forward, we just need to continue to stay healthy, move in the right direction. And this is the first time, maybe since 2000, 2001, Steve McNair, Eddie George, Frank Wycheck, Javon Curse, them boys, that I'm finally looking at this Titans team like, let's run it. Anybody, I'm ready. Offense, defense. Defense is trash, but we're getting better. We're getting better. But again, for us to be moving in the right direction, going into the playoffs, this is what I love to see.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm rocking with the Oilers. I've been rocking with the Oilers since the beginning of the season. While you have, had some times where you doubted your squad, I have stuck with them. I even said in the preview show,
I don't doubt. I'm realistic, sir.
Okay,
Continue.
Realistic, sure. But I even said in the preview show, I had to rock with the Oilers and stick with them. And they proved us right here. They won that game. We thought that they were gonna, it meant a lot to them. They needed it, and they went out. They took care of business, and it's their division to lose now. To be honest, you're looking at their remaining schedule. They got the Browns, they got the Jaguars, they got the Lions. All games I expect them to win. Then they got to close out the Packers and the Texans. So I expect them to beat the Texans still, although that game being a divisional game, and depending on what the Texans are able to do, even though they are now missing Roby, which Lord knows they didn't need any more issues in that secondary, and Will Fuller, who's actually been doing really well for them.
Well, we all know why he has been.
Well, obviously, but
it was something suspicious on why he was able to play this full season.
Well, either way, depending on how they do, I mean, they could make some noise at the end of this season, not necessarily like playoff hunt noise, but they can make some noise just spoiling some people's playoff and aspirations. And I definitely think that last game may not be as easy as we think it's going to be, but I'm still rocking with the Oilers. I think they're going to win the AFC South now. I really believe that whoever won this game was going to win the AFC South, and I'm going to stick with it. The Oilers going to win the AFC South. The Colts, this is unfortunate for them, but it's just another year of Phillip Rivers doing Phillip Rivers things. Good thing for them. They still in the hunt. And yeah, they'll probably make the playoffs and be able to play against somebody. It's just going to be on the road. So we'll wait and see.
We would definitely wait and see. And like you talked about with the AFC South, I agree. It is the Titans' division now to lose. I said this in week 10. I said this in week 10 when we lost to the Colts. I know people will call me crazy probably, but that game didn't matter. That wasn't a game that I was worried about. It was week 12 in Indy. That was the game that I was worried about. That was the game that was going to determine the winner of the AFC South. And if everything holds up, as in the Colts have to play the Texans twice over the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
The Titans schedule isn't too hard. So we have to wait and see how everything happens on their side of things with the Colts, because if the Colts slip up and Titans do what they need to do, of course it's a wrap there. But also the Colts need to continue to win to stay in the playoff hunt as well too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So they have to do what they need to do as well. I put a question for everybody that's watching. I said, what team is your biggest disappointment on Sunday? Because we have, going into our next topic, I feel like this was the biggest disappointment on Sunday. The Las Vegas Raiders traveled from Sin City to Atlanta.
To ATL, shawty.
To Atlanta. And to be honest with you, I feel like the Raiders were definitely hanging out with Gucci and Jeezy before this game, and was doing something Magic City, Blue Flame, They must have been eating that last night chicken and waffles. Something was going on to where they came and put on this pitiful ass performance in Atlanta after you showed out twice against the Chiefs, right? So at this point in time, I'm done with the Raiders. They are pretenders. They are not doing anything this year. Enjoy your mediocre record that you're going to have this year, because the Raiders almost got me. They almost 3-card modded me. They almost got me. I ain't gonna lie. But after this game, I'm done.
So you're done with them now?
Done.
I mean,
I'm done.
It is what it is. I predicted it. You can see the prediction down there. I said the Falcons were going to win because I did not have faith in the Raiders. The Raiders, for some reason, will show out against the Chiefs. They will not show up against anybody else, and they held true to that. They went to Atlanta. Atlanta is not a terrible team.
They're not.
They for some reason, don't know how to win games. They can't play a complete game, but they played a complete game this week because they took them to school. The Raiders, they got taken to school. The Falcons did not play around with them. And it is what it is. Raiders being the Raiders. They're going to look back on that one. They're going to be very upset because that may cost them a playoff spot.
No, I definitely agree. And at the moment last week, they were in the playoffs. Right now in the AFC, they are not in the playoffs. And it's going to be very, very tough to try to get just a 7th seed right now with the Colts holding on to that.
Yep.
And, we still have plenty of weeks left. Things can happen. Raiders are 6-5 at the moment. We've seen some crazy things happen, but at the moment, as of right now, I have no faith in the Raiders. I would not.
None.
I wouldn't put my money backing them behind, but when it comes to trying to make the playoffs, and I'll be honest with you, I would not be surprised at all if we see a quarterback change next year.
You think Mariota?
No. I'm just saying I think they just might move on.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm saying, because
I can see that.
Because it makes no sense how you play so good against the Chiefs. You're balling, you're making throws, and I'm over here like, damn, Derek, okay, I haven't seen you make throws like this since high school. And then all of a sudden, you play against the Falcons. It wasn't like you played against the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Titans, the Falcons, and you get your ass blown out? Come on, bro.
It's them doing what they always do.
Come on, bro. I agree. I'm done with him. I can't do it no more. Alrighty then. Another team that I'm done with, not so much the team, but mainly the general manager, and I'm talking you, John Elway. The Saints versus the Broncos. Saints, of course, won this game with their gadget quarterback they call Taysom Hill. And I did say in the previous show, hey, this was a game you want to check out, because I just want to see how everything on the offensive side for the Broncos is going to work out. I watched 5 minutes of that, and I said, you know what? I was completely wrong. Mm-hmm. This is horrible.
Remember, you thought they were going to lead at one point?
I did on some fluke stuff. Look, I'll be honest with you. Denver, y'all could have paid me $25,000. I would have put out a better showing than that.
It was embarrassing.
I'll be honest with you. Kendall Hinton, he literally looked like a kid out there filling in for a real NFL quarterback. He should not have been in that position.
I mean, it was kind of rough because the word is that he came up off the practice squad, didn't get any reps in practice whatsoever, and then just got thrown into a game. Yeah. I mean, in that situation, what more could you ask the man to do? I feel for him, but goodness gracious, this was like, I mean, you would hope that the team would have some sort of emergency plan for something like this. Not necessarily something like this, but just some emergency plan. And that looked, like you said, I watched maybe 1 or 2 drives because I wanted to see what they were going to do, and I just could not watch it anymore.
Can I piggyback on what you said when it comes to the emergency quarterback situation? You're 100% correct. You want to know why the Broncos are in the position that they're in? Because they did not follow protocol when it comes to keeping your quarterbacks isolated, right? I'll give you an example with the Tennessee Titans. Do you know who the Tennessee Titans third string quarterback is? I know, of course, because, But anyways, it's Deshaun Kaiser. You want to know why nobody knows? It's because he's literally at home on Zoom making sure that he does not get sick. Just in case Tannehill and the backup quarterback gets sick, and for the Titans, we at least have somebody that has some type of reps that have played that where we might not score 30 points, but we at least can give the ball to Derrick Henry. We can at least give the ball in a reverse to A.J. Brown. We can at least do something to help us on offense.
Man,
but for the Broncos not to do anything,
you should have had more picks than that.
He almost threw a pick.
He threw the ball directly to a Saint, and they just dropped it.
Yes.
The ball was in their hands, and they dropped it. So I mean, it was like I said. I watched 2 drives, maybe,
and I was done. I was done.
Yeah, it wasn't even good.
It was embarrassing. It seriously was embarrassing because, again, the NFL. Look. I really want to blame a lot of people. I really do, but I can't because the Broncos, as an organization,
it was their fault.
They knew exactly from the top to bottom. From top to bottom, it is their fault because they knew what the NFL came down and told all these teams. This is how you're supposed to go about it and do it this way. And they did exactly. And I have no problems with the NFL doing that. My problem is John Elway because they completed one pass in that first half. You want to know the last time? You want to know the last time an NFL team completed one pass and a half? The 2011 Denver Broncos, where John Elway was the general manager his first year there. Ever since John Elway has been the general manager for the Denver Broncos, and I apologize if I'm yelling, but I need everybody to listen to this. But ever since John Elway has been a general manager for the Denver Broncos in 2011, their quarterback position has been horrible. If it was not for Peyton Manning coming to Denver for 2 years with a broken neck and to win them the Super Bowl, the Denver Broncos would have ran John Elway out of Denver already.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I mean, to me, it's almost like it's. I almost equate it to Michael Jordan and how he runs the Hornets. Like everybody wants to say, like, oh well, you're one of the greatest of all time. So
it's easy. You can do it.
Be able to evaluate talent, get the right people in there. Help to manage these people, but no. That's not always true. And John Elway has handpicked guys that he wanted to be the quarterback for the Broncos.
Brock Osweiler.
And it has not worked out. So, I mean, at what point do we just say, like, yo, my man was a real
Paxton
good quarterback,
Lynch,
but not so good on the evaluation standpoint.
This was the guy that drafted Paxton Lynch from Memphis. From Memphis. Like, I saw him play in college. I'm just like, because he's tall? Because he has the measurables?
Hey, that's who John Elway, who's one of the best to play the game, that's who he saw as being the guy, and didn't work out. Brock Osweiler didn't work out.
The best quarterback right now, yes, is Drew Lock. The best one he's drafted so far is Drew Lock, but he's hurt.
By far the best one he's got so far. But yeah, like you said, he's been hurt, and so you can't even really get a real account of.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I think Drew Lock can be the best quarterback that he's gotten, but let's be real: is it too little, too late? Because if Drew Lock isn't able to perform the way that he should, again, this is the 7th quarterback that John Elway has had in his tenure with the Giants. With the Broncos. So, excuse me. So, how much longer do you give John Elway?
John Elway's not going anywhere.
I mean, I understand that. He's a legend in Denver. I got that. Won Super Bowls. I know that. But, again, Broncos faithfuls, how long are they going to be able to sit around and be like, okay, the defense is great, but we are literally wasting, this talent?
I think what's
Von Miller will leave sooner or later. I'm just saying.
I think what's saving him right now is that Drew Lock keeps getting hurt. So everybody's gonna keep giving him a pass because everybody sees the potential in Drew Lock, and everybody's saying hey, Drew Lock could be that guy, but we gotta get him healthy. We gotta wait and see. And if he just keeps getting hurt, everybody's gonna keep saying oh, okay, wait till he gets healthy. Until finally they're like, all right, we got to move on. But then at that point, we could be looking at 2 more years of mediocre play from the Broncos.
No, I definitely agree. And speaking of mediocre play, the LA Rams.
Yep.
This is my second disappointing team.
Nah, they're my most disappointing.
Okay,
the Raiders already knew who they were.
Okay, well, this is my second disappointing team because you're supposed to win this game. We talked about this in the pre-show. This is a game you're supposed to win, take care of business. You're at home, right? A team that's been depleted by injuries. Take care of business, but you do not.
Yeah.
They did not do that. I don't understand. Well, I'll say I do understand it. It's any given Sunday, right? Any team could beat any team on any Sunday. We got that. But for you as a team, the Rams trying to continue this upward trend going into the playoffs, this is a win you have to have. I understand it's a division game.
Mm-hmm.
I understand all that. But the Niners are limping into this game. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan, big ups to him. He's had his team perform all year. They were able to beat the Rams. I'm just disappointed in them. I don't even have to say anymore.
Yeah, and I'm honestly just gonna leave it on that because the Rams, they next week they have to bounce back. If they don't, I don't see them making the playoffs. Like I can see them. I'm sorry, let me take it back. I think they'll make the playoffs, but instead of being the 5 seed that they are at the moment, I would not be surprised if they are the 7th seed and could find their way not reaching the NFC title game like I thought they could. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with the Rams. The Chiefs and Buccaneers, of course, Ishmael's team. I went ahead and picked the Bucks because, like we talked about in the pre-show, I thought this would be a game that the Buccaneers needed to win. They started off slow, came in hot towards the end of the game. It was a little too late. But I will say this. For the Buccaneers defense to hold the Chiefs to 27 points, that's a hell of a task to do, even though, of course, yes, we know the human video game, Tyreek Hill had 269 receiving yards. We understand he had all that, but again, for you to only put up 27 points with all those yardage and whatnot, that's kind of not right. I'm saying that's kind of not good. You got to at least 30 some points.
That's kind of not good.
Hey, I'm just saying you won the game. You won the game.
No.
I'm just saying you won the game.
My squad. I tried to tell you at the pre-show, don't be doing that. And also, I told you at the pre-show, it was personal for Patrick Mahomes. He was going to come out. Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy were going to let that man slang the thing around. And sure enough, in the first quarter, they were slinging that thing around. And let me just tell y'all this, all right? Everybody that's complaining about, oh, y'all only scored 27 points. Bro, we took our foot off the gas. We realized that these boys were bums, and we ain't want to show anything else to the rest of the league, all right? We got the bigger picture in mind. We know we're here to win Super Bowls. If we wanted to score more points, we would have scored more points. We didn't need to, all right? So all y'all chill out because we got the top 2 receivers, one of them a tight end in the NFL. We know what we're doing in Kansas City. We know how to get to the ship and win the ship, and that's what we're trying to do. Tom Brady and the Bucks, y'all are bums. Y'all didn't even deserve to be on the same field as the Chiefs, and that's what happened. We took you out. Y'all better worry about making the playoffs and potentially meeting us in the Super Bowl so we can wax that ass again.
Ishmael said, in the words of Ishmael, y'all are bums.
Bums. Y'all are bums.
Buccaneers. All righty, then. Those are some hard words right there from Saigon. I appreciate the truthful words you have there.
It is what it is. The defense didn't. They started playing well towards the end, but that first quarter was abysmal from that defense. First quarter was. Whew. You would think they would know put somebody over the top of Tyreek Hill, but
yeah,
they learned this time. They learn now.
Yeah, that's Ty Boyles on that one, sir. You go ahead and take your L on that one, sir. All right, Sunday Night Football, Bears versus Packers, the NFL oldest rivalry, with another ass whooping from the Packers.
The weakest rivalry.
It really low-key kind of is one of the weaker rivalries, but that's here nor there. Packers win 41-25. Of course, we both picked the Packers to win that game because, hey, it's the Bears. And the best question I guess I can ask for this is, do we feel an Aaron Rodgers run happening right before our very eyes? Do we see Aaron Rodgers able to to get everything that he has and bring it to the forefront of the Packers organization? Let them know I'm about to take y'all to the promised land. Do you see that type of run happening for the Packers and Aaron Rodgers this year?
Not necessarily. I think that it could potentially be that, but I don't agree just yet. I don't think that they've looked lights out. They've looked good at times, but I don't think they've looked like lights out. They look good at times, right? And then that they have had times this year where they've looked bad. So I can't just say that I see a run. They are showing some positive signs right now. I still think you got the Saints over there in that division that when Drew Brees comes back, what do they look like? We still got to wait and see. I think the Saints with Drew Brees at right now might still be the favorite in the NFC.
Talking about the conference, you mean? You said
yeah, in the NFC. I mean, the NFC North. It's the Packers. They already got
Packers.
Wrapped
Yeah,
up.
they got that.
Now I'm looking more at the playoff picture and who can possibly go to the Super Bowl from the NFC. And I think the Saints are still the favorite on that side with Drew Brees. I also think that Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, you can't necessarily discount them. And I don't know if the Packers defense is going to be able to stop some of those teams. Even the Buccaneers, who I was just calling bums, they've got the weapons that they can play the Packers really well, and they've got a defense that can stop Aaron Rodgers as well. So, I don't know yet. I'm still waiting to see what happens with the Packers. I still don't trust them on the offensive side. Their defense definitely don't trust them. So, I don't know. We'll see. But could they? Yeah, it's possible.
No, I definitely understand where you're coming from. That's the way the Packers won their first Super Bowl, was making it to the wild card and going on that run and being able to, of course, winning with a young Aaron Rodgers. If they win a division, they won't have to go on that wild card run. Of course, they'll start it off at home. But I'm just, from what I see with Aaron Rodgers, he's had a hell of a year this year. I just feel like he's playing in spite of the Packers organization for not getting him even more weapons. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's in the Super Bowl this year. So
I agree. I can see it happening.
Yeah, we just have to wait and see. And also, I'll say this: wouldn't be surprised at all if we see a old versus young Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, I like that.
We have to be on the lookout for that as well.
Because Patrick gonna be fired up for that one too.
I think so too.
Put it on them just like he did the Bucs.
I don't know. I think the old man might have something to say about that one. We'll have to wait and see. All right, Monday Night Football: Seahawks versus the Eagles. Seahawks win 23-17. Of course, we picked the Seahawks, and I will say this: the Eagles did keep it close. They kept it close in the beginning and whatnot. They kept it close in the beginning.
This score is
very misleading. It's very misleading. It is.
That offense looked like garbage. I mean,
the offense like garbage, but the defense came to play. That's what I'm saying.
The defense did come to play, but that offense, I'm tired of all these Philly fans talking about Carson Wentz like it's still 2017 or whatever, because
he was the MVP. He was an MVP type of quarterback in 2017. I love hearing that shit.
It's done. Okay.
Please.
He had, people are so quick to get on RG3.
Oh, Lord.
RG3 had that 1 year, his rookie year, and then after that, he fell apart. Dude, why aren't we giving the same energy to Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz had 2017. What else has he had? Nothing. So why do we keep giving him this energy of like he's supposed to be this franchise guy when we were quick to turn on RG3 and say like, oh, he was the gadget guy. He had 1 year, that rookie year, when he was lighting the league up. I would even argue he was lighting it up more than Carson Wentz was lighting it up. So for y'all to sit here and tell me that week in and week out, like, oh, Carson Wentz, he's just missing pieces. Now, I will give y'all this. I've been really harsh on y'all. I will give y'all this. That offensive line situation has been
horrible.
Very bad. But I would counter that with Carson Wentz is supposed to be this mobile guy.
Franchise quarterback, mobile, all that
He's
stuff,
supposed
right?
to be this mobile guy that we claim like can get out of these situations.
And his ass be stay sacked inside of the pocket. Like
he doesn't even move. He doesn't try to move. He doesn't try to get out the pocket. I mean, And when he does, he just makes bad throws. Like it is one bad throw after another. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I watched the first half and then I was done. I turned on the Disney sing along, sat up in my pajamas when my daughter was singing along to the Disney songs because I was done. I didn't need to see anything else with the Eagles. It was just bad. That offense is garbage. The defense, I feel sorry for them because they got to put up with that offense. Jalen Hurts they gave him first team reps and they didn't even give him a full series to run the offense.
They gave him a play. They gave him a play without Carson Wentz on there and pulled him right out.
Which to me just says that coaching staff wants to live and die by Carson Wentz.
Period.
Unfortunately
period.
For him,
they're gonna die. Oh, they're gonna die. Oh no, and that's the thing. I literally just said this about an hour ago, or I'm sorry, about 2 hours ago to a friend of mine when it comes to the exact situation with RG3 and Carson Wentz. Why have we killed RG3 for the last 3 or 4 years? And this is a guy that won the Heisman Trophy. This is a guy that played well. And also, let's not forget, the Washington football team at the time drafted another quarterback the same year to compete against each other, right? So fast forward now to the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't understand this organization because you pay Carson Wentz all this money, right? And then this past draft, you draft a quarterback in the second round. It's like the Packers. It's like, again, if you're going to stick with this guy, help this guy out and help him blossom, right?
I mean,
I don't understand it.
They made their own bed. I think it was the same situation in Washington, like you said, of a situation where you got this guy that you're supposedly saying is the guy. He's the future. You're going to bring him up. You're going to allow him to be the franchise guy. And you bring somebody behind him. And anytime you draft a quarterback in the second round, in the Washington situation, they drafted Kirk Cousins in the fourth round, but it was the same year they drafted RG3.
Yeah.
So you could see the questions already starting of like, if this is your guy, why are you drafting another guy in the fourth round? Well, in this situation, if Carson Wentz is your guy, why are you drafting Jalen Hurts in the second round? I could see you getting somebody later, but in the second round,
in the fifth, sixth, seventh, that's cool.
But the Packers, why are you drafting a guy in the end of the first round? Like, I could see you getting somebody later to develop, but if you're drafting a quarterback that high, you're basically saying we're developing this guy to take over moving forward.
Because that's what you did for Aaron Rodgers when you drafted him when you had Brett Favre.
Well, and the thing is, you know, some people may say Jalen Hurts still isn't ready. He still isn't ready. That's why they got Carson Wentz there. But I would argue it's the same for any quarterback that gets drafted high. If the team's not doing well, at some point fans are going to start calling for them to get in. Now, the only thing is Philly fans are so hard-headed and they, for some reason, believe Carson Wentz in 2017 is going to come back. So they keep saying like, oh, no, Carson Wentz. But eventually they're going to get tired of it, too, when they get out of the race for the division.
Hey, I see certain Eagle fans already saying they're done with him. So,
hey, because you know why? Because now they're not leading the division anymore.
Everything was fine, huh? Oh yeah,
division, so it's okay.
Oh yeah.
But now that they're gonna start losing it to the Washington football team,
you're correct.
This may be the time.
You're correct.
We'll see.
All right. Hey, that's enough bashing of the Eagles for one show. We'll wait until next week to bash on them even more. We'll get right into the AFC playoff standings at the moment. Because, of course, the Steelers and the Ravens still have not played Week 12. Win or lose with the Steelers, they're still going to be number 1 seed in the AFC. So, at the moment, we have Steelers number 1, Chiefs number 2, Titans jump up back to number 3, the Bills at 4, Browns at 5, Dolphins at 6 with their win, and the Colts with their loss dropped them from the number 4 seed to the number 7 seed, just like that. And the NFC, this has changed tremendously as well, too. The Saints at 1, the Packers at 2, the Seahawks at 3, the G-Men, the Giants at number 4, the Rams at 5, Buccaneers at 6, and the Cardinals at 7. So, like I said, at the moment, as of right now, these are your playoff seeding for 1 through 7. We will be here, of course, on Sundays for the pre-shows and on hopefully on Tuesdays, usually for the recap. Unfortunately, due to, of course, the Ravens playing on Wednesday, we are not going to be able to recap. I'm sorry, we will recap that show. We'll have a 2-minute recap show of that on Wednesday that we'll add onto our podcast on Anchor. But for the moment, we are not able to, of course, add that to our Week 12 recap. We'll see you guys next week for Week 13 preview on Sunday at 10 o'clock ish. You free at 10?
Yeah, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock it works.
All right, you hear from the man Ish. We'll be here back at 10 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So for next time on the Sports